Hey guys, PetZergling here, bringing you another FPVOD. This is by request. My last few TvZ FPVODs have been against a couple shitty zergs, just during like 400 times, and I've been asked to go play some like actually good kids. So here's a good kid. I actually only had time for a couple games during Korean hours, and I was spending most of the time playing Team Melee with a couple friends. So this is actually only one of two games that I played tonight, but it was a pretty good game nonetheless, and the other game was versus a B-Zerg, and I think he was actually American. SMI lols, shout out to you, thanks for playing a game, because I'm definitely not B. But anyway, this is Terran versus Zerg on Destination, which is, in my opinion, probably one of the funnest matchups in the game. Destination is like such an epic map. There's so many different expansions that Zerg can do. There's lots of different builds, and just put my depot down, always first depot by your mineral line. And there's lots of stuff Zerg can do. I know 2-hatch mutant's pretty good on this map because the natural is kind of a bitch if you don't get turrets up. And lurkers, really early lurkers are good too because there's so many bridges, so many expansions. But at the same time, a lot of Terran go mech. And I'm not a fucking huge pussy, so I still do M&M bio for the most part. And barracks on 15, and this game was a 1v1 C destination Terran come, and anytime there's a Terran come game, it's usually like a person who has some sort of stupid build they want to try out. So I built my barracks right next to my CC as opposed to far away from it, just in case he was doing some kind of like 9 pool or 4 pool or some stupid shit, just so it's a little bit easier to defend, because I didn't want to have to pull SCVs to block my ramp, because the ramp on this map's pretty far. And I send the SCV out on 12, and that SCV is gonna get to his expansion right before 15 supply, so I'll know if I have to build my supply depot or not. And I'll also be able to see if he drone scouts, so I'll know if I have to pull a drone, or an SCV rather, to protect my expansion. Just a little info. I was actually D+ this game. I have no idea why he wanted to play me, but I joined the game and I was spamming the chat so he couldn't see what rank I was, and I don't know, maybe he just assumed I was a C player, but I am a C player. Like, it's not like I was just on a D+ account, and I kind of feel bad for tanking this guy because he wasn't that bad. And I scouted the 12 hatch, so I'm going to put down my CC immediately and then depot on 15. Some people like to depot on 16 after another SCV, but this is what mine does. He depots on 15. And I see the Overlord there, kind of risky position. If I would have 8-raxed, he would have lost the Overlord. And he didn't gas, so I know he's not going to do some sort of 2-hatch build. And I'm kind of looking for his 3rd hatchery. I'm going to try and slow it down a little bit. And I'm like fucking around with my SCV. And I noticed he saved his larva for Zergling, so at least he had 2 larvae there. And I was waiting for those drones to put down a hatchery, but neither of them did. And I'm kind of waiting for the hatchery, but he must have put it down in his natural, probably with one of those 2 drones. And then barracks on 20, and then gas on 20 is normally what I do. Sometimes I'll barracks early, but you put down your 2nd barracks after 2 Marines, and you have a lot of problems if you're not good at micro. But once you practice your control and put a bunker up, this is like such a better build. You get your tech out so much faster. I would recommend doing this every time and then just practicing defending against early Zerglings. And then you transfer SCVs on about 23 or 24. I transferred 6 SCVs, and that was kind of poor by me. I was fucking around attacking a drone, and my SCV got stuck. And because I got my bunker, my academy is going to be delayed a little bit, and I was actually considering building my academy outside of my natural to help block shit, but I just wanted to be normal here. And notice I cut SCVs and I cut Marines to build my academy, because I want to make sure my tech timing's okay, because it's really important that you're comfortable with the build order and you know exactly when all your shit's going to finish. So once again, as you see, I cut a Marine or 2 there, and I cut an SCV, and I sent another SCV out. You always want to send a 2nd SCV out, just like PvZ, you always send a 2nd scout out. I want to see if he has Zergling speed, how many Zerglings he has, if he's trying to hide a hatchery, whatever. And as you can see, I didn't see his 3rd hatch, although I assume he put it in his natural. I have to check the other expansions to make sure he didn't put it anywhere fucking stupid. And then yeah, so I'm getting my tech up right now. And the key thing here is, one problem I always used to have with TvZ is I'd always used to think, I don't have enough barracks, I have too much money, I need to keep adding barracks. But in reality, you just need to practice pumping off of a couple different barracks. And like, I stay on 2 barracks, and then until all my tech is done, my academy, and then I get a third barracks, and then I stay on 3 barracks all the way to science vessel, and that's really important. And I see he's got a drone there, and he's doing some stupid nerd shit, so I'm just going to chase that drone around because he only built 2 zerglings, and he turned the drone. And right when your academy finishes, fire bat medic, that's pretty much standard. You know, even though I saw his base and he didn't have a bunch of zerglings, I guess I could have done without the fire bat, but I like to send the fire bat out in the scout anyway. And my SCV is wandering into the guy's natural right now. I don't know what it's doing, but he doesn't have a sunken up. And I see there's the 3rd hatchery, but obviously he wants to do something with this drone. He's going to do something, like I said, when someone makes a game tear and come, they obviously want to do something really fucking nerdy. And then I try and sneak the SCV by. That was kind of stupid. Sometimes you can get lucky and the last sunken hit misses because you're going up the ramp. And now that I have a full control group, I move out, and I'm only moving out right here because I know that he hasn't made zerglings. If you can't see what he's doing with your SCV scout out, your second one, don't move out ever because you can lose games like that. And +1 and range about at the same time. And I started my factory, and this is really important because you want to have your factory done and your starport building by the time the mutalisks come, because you don't have to, if you get your factory delayed or you can't find a place to put your starport, you're pretty much fucked. As you see, like, I saw his spire and I'm just now starting to build my turrets, and I usually go like a maniac building turrets just because, like, I really don't care. Like, 75 minerals are so fucking cheap. It's like building in a vulture. Like, vultures are meaningless. So I build like a lot of turrets at each of my expansions, especially places where he's likely to harass, because like it's really difficult to get marines back there. I don't even have to want to deal with like saving those turrets. Normally you just place turrets, like see these turrets, I just put a huge fucking wall of turrets there too, so it doesn't even matter. But normally you place a few turrets here and there just to buy time for marines to get there, to limit mutalist movement. And as you see, like, I'm constantly just producing a little bit off my barracks. There's some players, I know Rhett does it, but I mean, Rhett does a different style. I'm not commenting on Rhett being bad. He just likes to build a lot of barracks early on this map, and I like to stay low barracks. And as you see, that fire bat paid off, even though like it wasn't doing anything, it killed the drone, and that definitely did its part right there. You should always send a unit to each of the 2 expansions. I mean, if there's only 1 or if there's 3, then whatever, but if you can always send those out, because not only that, but you force the mutalists to turn around and kill those, even if like the zerg wasn't ready to. Sometimes the mutalists can be halfway to your base, and you want to take your gas right when your starport starts, even though I was kind of bad and I didn't. I just kind of forgot, just because I'm not used to teching this fast. This is kind of, I'm trying to adapt a kind of Korean style play, and I supply block my, actually no I don't. No, I finished supply depots. Okay, so I've actually done the build order almost flawlessly up to this point. I mean, an A- Korean would have done just about the same. And you want to keep your marines alive right here. It's really important. You want to keep them spread. See how I'm constantly spreading them out, and you want just constantly moving around and make a bitch for him, because right now you're teching. He's not teching right now. He's concerned on expanding and he's macroing and shit. You're just waiting for your tech to finish. And now I move down because a lot of people like to be cute and move their mutalists down there, and he's actually going for the turrets, which is kind of a good move because you should always go for turrets on that part. And he's forcing me to bring my shit back, and I actually fuck up my hotkeys there, and all my marines are scattered, so this is kind of bad. And if he attacks right now, I'm going to be in kind of a difficult situation. And also, just a note, I've started my siege mode and my tank, and this is kind of poor by me. You can see my mechanics have been slightly off here. I built too many supply depots, and I didn't get my gas fast enough. So as you see, I executed my build order perfectly, but I don't have enough minerals or gas to build a science vessel and get a radiate immediately. And I'm going to scan up here, and this is always a good tip, because sometimes, oh, look at that. The Zerg wasn't paying attention, and he was microing, and he didn't see my scan. So he was going to try and micro there, and he just lost so many mutalisks. And that was just excellent. That is really, really good for you. If you can get a couple solid mutalisks right there, like as you see, like it wasn't even that bad, because I still have that unit at the upper right. So I know where his expansion is. And I'm going to move out, and I'm not moving out to attack. This is really map specific. You want to hold the end of your bridge on this map, just because you don't want them to put lurkers on this other side of your bridge, because that slows down your push immensely. And when I played LOLs, he did a lot of harassment to me with Mutalists, and I wasn't able to do that. And then he just, like, I couldn't push at all. He delayed me so much, and he had defilers out by the time I pushed out. And I scanned again, and now I see he's running away. Actually, no, he's coming back. And so all I'm doing is waiting for vessels, and his Mutalists are really hurt, so I'm just okay here. And my hotkey was fucked up there. I don't know why. I use hotkeys well, but my one problem is I always re-hotkey. Like, I'll re-hotkey my things like 5 or 6 times every minute, and it's really kind of inefficient, but it helps me use my hotkeys. And as I go along, I kind of use them less. And as you see, I saved my refinery, which is a plus, and I know exactly where his expansion is. And